Alright, bro, look. So I love anime fights. Watching two strong characters go against each other, whether it's generational beef or just a random fight, will always be exciting if animated well. But we gotta admit, sometimes those fights are completely unbalanced. Two characters on the same level fighting is great, but when one of those characters is completely out of the other's league, that's when I have a lot of fun. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at some of the most unfair beatdowns in anime. Like, some of these characters didn't even have a chance. But before we get started, please make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to support me and the channel, become a member, where you get some special perks like emojis and getting your videos early. But without further ado, let's get into it. The first beatdown we're gonna get into is Accelerator running up on Musujime and making her a joke. Bro pulls up to her and immediately starts talking trash. Like, Accelerator knows he is strong and will always start trash talking before anybody else gets a chance. Man's mouth is like a garbage disposal. Like, the moment he sees you, you're beneath him immediately. She is surprised and was getting ready to soil her breeches, but remembers that Accelerator has some brain damage from his last fight. So she thinks she has a chance. And so she starts getting arrogant. And Accelerator's like, oh, you thought you ate? And proceeds to spew even more trash talking her way. To back it up, with a single step, this man destroys the entire city block, showing that he is just as strong as ever. She tries to teleport away from all the debris, but Accelerator was already on her ass. Bro demolishes her briefcase, trash talks her some more, and lands the juiciest punch in her face. Man's really said equal rights, equal lefts. Like, bro, he does not care if you're male or female, he will fight you. And bro, she was done after that one punch. Like, bro, imagine pulling up to somebody, trash talking them, and then one-shotting them afterwards. Like, bro, this wasn't even a fight, this was straight bullying. And bro walked off into the night like he was the coolest guy ever. I mean, he is, but damn, you didn't have to do it like that. The next one-sided beatdown was the first thought that came to my mind when the idea of this video came. And that is none other than Temari thrashing Tenten at the tuning exam. Like, whoever in the Leaf Village that thought this would be a good match need to be thrown in jail, because this is unfair. Anywho, bro, from the jump, we knew this wasn't gonna be good because Tenten was too excited. Like, bro, you haven't shown anything so far to prove that you are strong. And by this time, we already heard about how strong the Sand Trio was. Anywho, they get started and Tenten takes a step back. And this man Hiruzen starts glazing immediately. Like, bro, all she did was take a step back. Like, what are you talking about? Shut up. Talking about something, it's not too close and it's not too far, like that's gonna help. Temari, knowing she's that big, immediately starts talking trash. Tenten throws some shurikens and does 0 damage. Like, bro, they didn't even hit. After some time, Tenten hops in the air and starts spawning weapons out of her ass. They did literally nothing. And so she pulls out 2 scrolls, jumps in the air, and does the same thing, throwing weapons at Temari. And she blows them things away like they were nothing. Tenten, having just failed in her attack, is still in the air. Turns out she got some strings attached to her weapons, so she tries throwing them again. And they did nothing.
Nice going, Genghis.
Because again, you're fighting Temari that can just blow wind at you. And so Temari smacked her ass out of the air with that last one. Temari is standing there with like 0 damage to her. And Tenten already looks worn out. Like, bro, you did like 3 attacks and all of them failed. How do you have this much damage on you? Anywho, Temari pulls a Houdini and disappears, ending up gliding through the air like she was Batman or some shit. After landing, she finally decides to do an actual attack. And bro, she shreds Tenten. And for pure disrespect, catches her on her fan when she falls. Like, bro, there's never been a more unfair fight in Naruto than this. Here go y'all in the comments. But JP and Boruto, I don't care. Like, bro, we just watched these kids struggle in a forest of death. And don't even get me started on why Konoha has a forest of death. But they struggled, Sasuke became a booty warrior, Gaara was out here killing ninjas left and right. By the way, I made a video on that already, so go watch it. But bro, no matter how you put it, this was just unfair and did not need to happen. Anyway, if you've seen the recent solo leveling anime or read the manhwa, you know full well that Jin Woo is usually the one that's humbling people. But damn, before he was goated, man's got put in the most unfair boss fight of his life. Bro was literally saved by the bell when Jin Woo pulled up to Igris' boss room. And Igris starts attacking immediately. He dodges the first slash, but got ragdolled afterwards. And Son Jin Woo had fear in his eyes, bro. Like, Igris did not come to play. Every hit this man threw had some ferocious power behind it. Jin Woo starts attacking, but wasn't landing any hits. And the hit he did land did 0 damage. To which Igris tries to crack his skull open, but he blocked it. After realizing he can't damage Igris with his dagger, he puts it away and puts his fists up, because he thinks he's gonna use his raw string. And Igris was like, oh, we throwing hands now. Bet that up. puts his sword down and proceeds to put this man in the fucking floor. Igris was like, you think just because I swing a sword around I don't have hands? I'm about to ragdoll you. Mans tosses Jin Woo to the wall and barely gave him a second to breathe, coming in with another punch. And after he's done, he just stands there waiting for Jin Woo to attack. Jin Woo decides since he can't beat him with raw strength, he's gonna use his speed advantage. Spoiler alert, he didn't have a speed advantage. He starts running, showing off his speed. Igris is just standing there, menacing. When Jin Woo attacks, bro catches his legs and starts tossing him around. They start throwing hands and this fight is looking great. It looks amazing. Jin Woo lands a kick and Igris was like,
I understand it now.
Bro locks in and proceeds to land the meanest combo ever. I swear this is a kick that Robin would pull off. And bro doesn't waste a single second. He grabs Jin Woo, does a Broly drag, and tosses this man like a football, sitting him down on the throne. Like, bro, he sat this man down like you're not ready for this. Anywho, bro walks up to Jin Woo, calls his sword, and goes for a final hit. But luckily, Jin Woo blocks and finally locks in, getting a good stab in the eye and proceeding to pummel Igris. Like, bro, if Jin Woo did not lock in the final moments, he would have been cooked. But somebody who had zero chance of winning, even if they did lock in, is Pitou. Gon was so mad he was willing to give up all his future strength just to kill Pitou. Bro starts transforming, and this is how you know Pitou is a malicious creature. They saw Gon was mid-transformation, right? So they pulled out their nin creature and goes for an attack. Like, first of all, I salute any character that's willing to attack somebody mid-transformation. Like, it takes a whole lot of brain power. And one of the things I despise in the anime is letting the villains transform. Like idiots like Vegito and Goku, who loves waiting for their opponent to get extremely OP before they could try to kill him. And then they get thrashed. Pitou knew better, but unfortunately, it didn't work. And we see Gon in all his booty shorts glory. Pause. So you're telling me he still wears those booty shorts as an adult? How do they fit, bro? Like, them things are way too short, Gon. Like... Anywho, Gon is looking like a Giga Chad and has murder on his mind. And Pitou is terrified, of course. And bro, look at the look on Gon's eyes, bro. Like, this is straight, I am going to kill you and you can do nothing about it. So you might as well follow me outside so we could run the fade. Anywho, Pitou is following behind Gon and tries to go for an attack from the back, and Gon dodges, looks at Pitou like, you didn't think I knew you were slimy? And bro kicks Pitou to the stratosphere. Run the replay on this kick, bro. Look, your whole stomach is caved in. And bro prepares a rock as Pitou falls, punching him and ragdolling Pitou through the entire forest. And bro, look at the state they're in afterwards. Now that's a lot of damage. Gon is walking towards her, and you can hear this man's footsteps. Like, do you know how much muscle mass this man has to be hearing his footsteps like this? Gon is there pummeling Pitou in the forest, punch after punch, and even Killua notices and goes to see Gon. Bro was absolutely flabbergasted.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
As Gon is talking to Killua while crying, Pitou resurrects themselves. Well, it was a postpartum nin ability, but nonetheless, they managed to take off one of Gon's arms, and it was the right one. Well, you know the saying, no more BD techniques for you, my boy. Oddly enough, Gon isn't even mad that he can't goon anymore. Bro punches Pitou, grabs his severed arm, spears this malicious creature in the gut, and does a final rock to finish her.
No, you can sleep. Go, no! Go, stop it!
Them? Look, bruh, I've been struggling trying to record this section, bruh. Trying not to call Pitou a her. But either way, they're dead. The introduction that we got to Uvogin showed that he was a battle-hungry menace, taking out the Shadow Beast in the most brutal way possible. Now, imagine after seeing that fight, and I tell you that Uvogin was on the unfair side of a 1v1. Yeah, bro, you wouldn't believe it. But when your opponent comes to the fight with a shovel to bury you, you might as well give up, bro, because you have no chance of winning. Kurapika came to this fight with vengeance burning through his heart, and finally he gets the chance to fight one of the Phantom Troop members. Uvogin is arrogant as usual because he's strong. They start fighting, and Uvogin notes that the chains are dangerous, but he gets a nice punch in on Kurapika, seeming to break his arm. But when the dust clears, this man has no damage on him, and Uvogin is flabbergasted. Kurapika's like, please tell me that wasn't your strongest punch. And so Uvogin gets mad, goes for a punch, and misses, resulting in him taking a back shot from Kurapika. And from how wide this man's mouth is open, I know that back shot hurt. Pause! When you stub your pinky toe in the middle of the night and don't want to wake the entire family up, so you do this silent scream. Anywho, Uvogin rolls with a punch, thinking he's getting away, only to be stomped in the back of his head. Like, bro, Kurapika was on his Robin timing with that one. And then bro says that Uvogin is wasting his time. So Uvogin goes full throttle. He creates a smoke screen and punches Kurapika in the arm. And this time, he shattered it. And look at this nigga's face. He's so happy he finally did some damage. But unfortunately for him, Kurapika already caught him in a chain jail. Uvogin is confuso. Like, how is Kurapika able to use multiple nin categories at full capacity? So Kurapika helped him out and showed him his eyes. And he finally remembered, oh yeah, we murdered your whole clan. So he gets fired up, ready to fight again. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the sad part. This fight was over the moment Kurapika got those chains around him. He tries to get out, but he cannot break the chain, neither with brute strength or nen. Kurapika pulls out another chain and heals himself. And again, this fight was just unfair from the beginning, and Uvogin had no chance. Kurapika gut checks this man with a juicy punch. Uvogin tells Kurapika to kill him because he's not answering anything. He ain't no snitch. So Kurapika breaks one of his arms. Kurapika finally gets tired of his shit and stabs him with a judgment chain and asks him a final question.
Asking questions isn't a fucking power. I'm asking you questions right now. Is that a power? I mean, yeah, but you Superman, so you got all the powers.
Uvogin, the Giga Chat he is, responds, hey bro, go shove a pine cone up your ass, and chooses to die rather than snitch on his homie. Now ladies and gentlemen, this was a pretty cool end to the fight, until they show you Kurapika burying this man, which means he came to the fight with a shovel. Cause bro, they were in the middle of nowhere. Like, he couldn't have gone back to his house to grab a shovel. He had that bit with him. Uvogin thought he went out like a gangster, but Kurapika was like, nah, I'm embarrassing you. Todo and Mai pulls up asking the most salacious question ever. Talking about some what kind of women do you like? And when Megumi tells him if she has a good personality, he's down. Bro took it as a personal offense because he thinks Fushiguro is a boring person since he like boring women. Bro proceeds to clothesline this man, and when Noburo reacted, Mai pulls up, whispering sweet nothings in her ear. Bro, if you do not get your hot cancerous cigarette breath ass away from my ears. Now anybody who heard those words would be offended. Mai was offended, so she upped the blicky on her. Bitch, I will pump your smart ass full of holes. Now there's nothing Noburo can do. Now Todo's buff Aaron the Plumber looking ass start pulling up crying. Bro, he didn't do anything to you. He just does it like the type of girls you do. And bro calls him boring for that. Like, bro, do you know the person you're calling boring is none other than Fushiguro the crash out? I'm surprised this man didn't summon Mahoraga to beat the shit out of Todo, bro. Anywho, to defend himself, Megumi summoned some frogs. Like, has these frogs ever been useful in any way, shape, or form? Look at the look on Todo's face. Not a single ounce of care or intimidation that this man summoned these dumbass frogs. So bro pulls up behind him and hits Megumi with the meanest German suplex I've ever seen. And then bro starts giving him the 10-piece finger licking combo. And this move right here is the most disrespectful one out of them all. Like, bro, grabbing people by the face has to be the most disrespectful move you could pull during a fight. That's just asserting your dominance. Anywho, dude grabs his face and runs him through an entire building. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if Panda and Inumaki didn't come in to stop this fight, this nigga Megumi was ready to summon Mahoraga to take care of Todo. That is crazy. Like, I said it earlier and didn't remember at the end of this fight, bro was completely ready to crash out. Even Todo at the last moment realized that he was about to lose his life. So shout out to Inumaki and Panda for coming at the time they did, because if they didn't, Todo would have been cooked. Now the next couple of fights I'm going to be talking about are from cartoons, because they were extremely deserved. Definitely Eddie getting demolished by Rolf for insulting his tradition. Now Rolf is a weird character and one of my favorites from Ed, Edd, and Eddy. And Brody has like a million different traditions that he celebrates. And this time he was celebrating a weird one about sea cucumbers. And so the Ed boys go over to check out what's going on. He offers them some sea cucumber balls. Pause. And I mean, they look nasty. So Eddie decides, hey, yo, this shit is ass. So he tosses it thinking he was Stephen Curry and misses, because in reality, he's actually Shaq at the free throw line. Rolf, seeing this, gets offended and lies down in shame and lets everybody steps on his face for his shamefulness. Anywho, after this, Double D tries to get Eddie to apologize, but bro was like, man, fuck that, I ain't do nothing wrong. Ed proposes they bake cupcakes, and Double D's like, that's a great idea. And Eddie, you can share some with Rolf as an apology. But bro was like, nah. They decided to bring this man a potted plant, which ended up insulting him even more. And so he challenges this nigga to a duel. And before the duel, Rolf decides to channel his inner Kurapika and starts digging a fucking hole, and then proceeds to rip a tree right from its roots. Oh my god, Eddie is dead. Brody offers Eddie to choose his weapon from a box of mackerel, and Eddie started getting scared. He's like, yo, bro, I'm sorry. But Rolf is like, nigga, you saying sorry and you didn't even bring any cupcakes? And then bro hits him with the meanest 4-hit combo I've ever seen. And he did not stop. Meanwhile, Kevin is getting this on video. Oh my God, bro. They about to show this shit to his kids, bro. His entire lineage is fucked. And that nigga giving commentary? Damn, that nigga ain't even get a hit in. Meanwhile, Eddie is getting his ass whooped. And then Rolf picks this man up and is like, yo, why you not fighting back, huh? And when Eddie lifts his hand to throw a hit, bro smacks his ass into the pit. This was the most deserved beatdown in cartoon, except for the next fight that we're gonna be looking at, which is Wendy finally beating the shit out of Cartman. We all hate Cartman. And to finally see this nigga get his comeuppance, bro, it was one of the most satisfying things on TV. And this all started because Cartman was being a fucking ass as usual. Cartman has done so many heinous shit, even becoming the mustache man at one point. Like, this fat little bastard is a complete menace to society. And we all knew eventually he was going to fuck around and find out with the right person. And that person was none other than Wendy Testerberger. Wendy challenges his ass to a fight, and he tries so many ways to get out of this fight, bruh. He tried rumors, bribery, it didn't work. She still wanted to beat his ass. And finally the day came. She pulls up to this nigga and was not gonna let him escape this. And he tried. Talking about some, Wendy, I'm gonna tell my mom if you don't do. But she ain't give no fuck. And Wendy knocked his ass down with the first punch. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the punch heard around the world. I promise you, so many people wanted to finally see Cartman get his ass punched for all the heinous shit he's done. And look at Wendy, bro, she's a pro. Cartman gets up, eats a couple of punches, and starts throwing some back. And bro was wailing on her, not gonna lie. But Wendy is stronger than you think. So she turns him around and starts slamming his fucking head into the playground. And look at all, like, the entire school is here watching this fight. But Wendy started going ham on this nigga Cartman, bro. Comboing the fuck out of him, and he couldn't even block. Wendy was pulling moves straight out of Street Fighter, ending that shit with a final blow. And bro, they paused on this freeze frame so that everybody at home who's watching could just pause on that freeze frame, knowing that Cartman thoroughly got his ass beat. And Wendy, the demon, was still kicking him after he was down. And you know what's crazier is not a single teacher came out to stop the fight, because they all hate Cartman and couldn't wait for him to get his ass beat. Now, Benton has a lot of elite level haters, which his best friend is one of them, Kevin Levin. And Ultimate Kevin and Ben have had beef since they were 10 years old. And Ben always won when they fight. But somehow Kevin thought it would be different this time. And what's crazy is this is the first time Ben is using Ultimate Echo. And I feel like this scene in the entire show shows how strong the ultimate aliens were supposed to be. Anywho, Ben pulls up to Kevin, and Gwen tried to stop him, talking about something, I thought we were gonna do this my way. But bro was like, psych, I lied. And booms the shit out of Kevin. Sent this man Kevin through not 2, but 4 different buildings. Kevin gets up yapping about losing all the time when they were kids and attacks him, but Ben blocks. So Kevin magnetizes him, and Ben gets bumped in the head by a beam. So Kevin decides to pull a Dio and sends a tank at him. And this is my favorite scene in the whole fight, because mind you, Echo only fights using sound. And bro demolished an entire tank with 2 discs. And this hating ass nigga Kevin wasn't even impressed. Bro was like, sooner or later, you're gonna make a mistake, and that's gonna be the last time. Ben was like, oh, say less. Surrounds this nigga with discs and launches an attack, putting Kevin on his ass. And this is the most devious part of the fight. Ben went over to him and was ready to kill this nigga. If Gwen didn't pull up, that would have been the end of Kevin Levin. But ladies and gentlemen, the next 2 fights are just pure humiliation. Meet Dracula Mihawk. In the day Zoro made the biggest mistake of his life. First of all, look at how this man traveled. Like, bro, in One Piece, based on how some of these characters travel, you can already tell not to mess with them. Like, this man Aokiji casually just rides his bike on the ocean. Anybody who sees that would be like, okay, that's somebody you just don't mess with. He's clinically insane. Look what he's doing. Now, this is Mihawk. He sits in his little ass boat, no paddle, and this nigga still somehow gets to where he needs to go. Bro is probably moving the boat with his aura alone. But you know, he looked like a minority to Zoro, so he thought he had a chance. Mihawk pulls up and he's like, so are you like stupid or something? Can you not see the strength difference between us? Or like, okay, but whatever. He decides to entertain Zoro. So bro pulls out a butter knife, and Zoro's like, what the fuck kind of joke is this? Dude's like, my bad, cuh, I don't have anything smaller than this, so that's it'll have to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the biggest red flag that Zoro somehow missed. This nigga is blind as fuck. But feeling insulted, Zoro goes on the attack and gets blocked by the butter knife. Zoro is flabbergasted, but he continues to attack and continues getting blocked. Bro is not landing a single hit. Bro even got put on his ass. Anyway, after getting chopped in the back of his neck and put on his ass again, bro decides to use Tiger Trap, only to get stabbed by the butter knife. Mihawk sees this man as brave, put the butter knife away and decides to use his actual sword. They go head to head with the final attack, and of course, Zoro lost. And what's crazy is bro really got humiliated in front of everybody. And so did Estarossa. Now this man thought he was hot shit because nobody could touch this man if you have any type of hatred towards him. But then here comes Escanor's big buff ass, stomping his way towards Estarossa. And Brody is confused as to why his commandment isn't working. But Escanor is like, yeah, no shit, bro. I don't have any hatred towards you. I just pity you. You're weak. And then bro's like, I don't hate me now. Your commandment might turn against you. Estarossa gets offended and uppercuts this man, punch him to the ground, and then kicks him in his nuts all the way in the air, giving this man the Vegito versus Cooler treatment. And then he finishes the 4-hit combo by knocking him down. Then he proceeds to menacingly approach this man, only to feel the full might of the sun coming towards him. Bro blocks it, but his knees were too weak to stand up. But Escanor is like, what's wrong? Did you find something down there? Buddy and Zeldris was flabbergasted that Estarossa got put on his knees. Anywho, Escanor attacked, but ended up getting cut. And when Estarossa explained that it was his full counter, Escanor is like, that's why I got hurt. It was my own strength. Anywho, Escanor summons the fucking sun, which is melting everyone else's armor. Bro flings Escanor towards the lake and pulls the wildest aura move I've ever seen. This man is riding the sun like Killua rides a fucking horse. Drops the attack on Estarossa and evaporates the entire lake. Estarossa somehow survives this and starts bragging, so Escanor pulls out another sun. So Estarossa decides to cover it up, launches towards Escanor, so Escanor attacks, only to be hit by full counter again. So Estarossa starts yapping and bragging about how he covered this man's sun. Escanor is like, my attacks have no effect. Who decided that? You covered my sun? Who the fuck decided that shit? And since it's high noon, his power increased. Bro pulled out the sun again and is like, I'm about to cook the fuck out of you. Hits him with another cruel sun. Zeldris came in and got taken along for the ride. Mans cooked 2 brothers at once and got the 3rd one later in the series. But ladies and gentlemen, one of the most unfair fights in Boruto, Naruto's grown ass gets into a fight with a child and loses. Naruto, the perpetual genin, finally got his chance to take the tuning exam, and his final fight was against Konohamaru. Now mind you, this was after Naruto saved the village from pain, fought in a war against Madara, and got Lord knows how strong. And they decided to put this man up against Konohamaru. Konohamaru decides to start this off with a giant Rasengan, and Naruto, getting peeved, decided to summon a bunch of fucking clones and gave them all Rasengan. So Konohamaru retaliates with a bunch of clones of his own, but ended up taking the L. Brody was on the floor like Yamcha after getting blown up by the Cybermen, but he somehow manages to get up and continues fighting. And Naruto's big grown ass hit this man with a 3-hit combo and continues to ragdoll this kid, kicking and punching this man into oblivion. No one in the audience thought this fight was fair, because before this, Naruto was throwing hands with the god, and bro is not even holding back. He is punching this kid with full force. Bro kicks Konohamaru down, picks him up just to toss him like a sack of rice. And bro, you can see Konohamaru has 0 chances of winning this fight. Bro got punched and sent to a flashback. Konohamaru somehow survives this punch and realizes everybody's on his side, so he continues to fight. He throws a shuriken, multiplies it, and had Naruto looking stupid. He jumps in the air to avoid him, only to get hit with ash, and then bro tried to cook this nigga like a chicken. Naruto survives, but trips on a fucking rock and get punched in the face, which means Konohamaru finally landed a hit on Naruto. And everybody starts cheering. So bro starts hitting poses and making declarations, forgetting that Naruto is still awake and he hasn't won the fight. And ladies and gentlemen, this is when Naruto loses a fight that by all accounts he should have won. This dumb ass decides to use Sage Mode, which is forbidden during the tuning exam. And bro ended up getting disqualified and becoming the definition of a super senior. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in his first appearance, Vegito decides to humiliate Super Buu, who already absorbed a bunch of other people, in the most arrogant way he could think of. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that Vegito appeared, bro was already trash talking in aura farming, gave himself a name, and bruh, I forgot that Super Buu could talk. The voice sounds so strange with the face to me. But anywho, Goku hit him with a boot to the face combo, and Buu retaliates with a blast. But Vegito was just standing there laughing at his pathetic attempt. Buu ended up getting him with his antenna. But you know how it is, Vegito is the definition of arrogance and starts yapping until Buu responds.
I'm happy to keep pounding you.
Vegito didn't like a single word in that sentence, so bro hit him with a juicer to the jaws, followed by a big bang. And oh my god, this man almost killed him entirely. Buu regenerates, of course, and this lunatic Vegito is happy he can continue to fight. Anywho, bro, they start throwing hands and Buu is getting decimated. Damn! Look at this punch!
bitch.
Like, bro, Dragon Ball makes zero sense. How is somebody able to come back from this? The second hit of the combo was even worse. Disfigured this man's entire noggin. Ew, look how he regenerates. Anyways, bro, Boo gets heated that he's getting his ass beat, so he decides to pull a cell, making a giant energy ball to destroy the entire planet. But Vegito ain't worried, bro, cause he's him. Boo throws it, but Vegito hit him with the Uno reverse and tosses it back at him. And look at him aura farming after the explosion. Even Boo acknowledges the aura farming. You really think you're him out here posing and shit? Don't be mad at me, cause I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of that dingling on your head, you'd get some Namek hoes on your dick. Actually, never mind. I'm keeping them for myself. Boo didn't like being stunted on, so he goes on the attack, only to be aura farmed all to hell. This man, Vegito, didn't even try. He was just standing there sidestepping this nigga's attack. So Boo throws an energy bomb, only to get that shit returned to him again. So Boo pulled a peekaboo and dodged. Meanwhile, Vegito pulls up and started roasting this nigga by his nose, telling him he liked him more when he was fat. So Boo gets offended. So Boo hit him with the 4-hit combo, trying to aura farm, only to be outdone by Vegito, who's standing there with his arms crossed. Talking shit, of course. And to add insult to injury, bro, blast this nigga into tiny pieces. So Boo regenerates, of course. And this nigga is mad. This man is so heated, he's getting his ass beat right now, bro. And not only that, Vegito is using him as a tool to aura farm. Like, this man got steam coming out of him right now, bro. Boo tries to transform, only for Vegito to start clobbering this nigga mid-transformation. For the first time in forever, a Dragon Ball character doesn't just stand there and let their enemy transform. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why Vegito is the GOAT. Bro comes out of the steam looking like a homeless person, oh my god. And at this point, Vegito got this man terrified. Bro grabs his leg and tosses this nigga like prime Tom Brady. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point, there was no hope for Super Boo. Bro was getting toyed with. And Vegito, as arrogant as ever, is like, damn, homie, so much for the great Majin Buu. I got you out here looking like a cockroach that got stepped on. And Majin Buu's like, "Curse you, Perita Platypus! You've made me mad!" So bro shoves himself in Vegito's mouth. I know that shit feels nasty. Buu finally getting inside of this man starts talking reckless. Vegito decides to go Super Saiyan 2 and starts beating the shit out of this man while inside his body. That is insane. No matter where he traveled, bro started getting whacked like this was a game of whack-a-mole. Buu getting his ass thoroughly beat decides to come out. And man's got so mad, he starts screaming and trying to destroy the planet again. So Vegito decides to rearrange his jawline. After getting humiliated, bro decides to start throwing a tantrum. Man's really thought he was doing something right here, until Vegito starts styling on him. When bro was tired of aura farming, he gut checks this man, punches his face in, grabs his antenna so he doesn't go too far, and was like, hold this, little nigga. This man had Buu standing in attention screaming. He tries to wrap around Goku, only to get blown off, and to rub salt in the wound, Goku tosses the antenna and blasts it off. This man Buu looks so offended. I can't believe you've done this. Vegito, never letting his chance go by, starts roasting the fuck out of this man. Damn, bro, why you so mad? Relax. I just wanted to give you a better cut, bro. Your shit was ass. And you know when you're so mad, you run out of words to say this nigga was so heated. Man started declaring his hatred for Vegito and called him a pig. And Vegito was like, have you looked in the mirror lately? And this man Vegito just keeps making him more mad. So Buu decides to pull out Gotenks' attack, to which Vegito calls him out on it. Buu proceeds with the attack, not giving a fuck. So Vegito blows up all of them. Had this man flabbergasted. And here comes Vegito. Damn, my nigga, you're that weak that you had to rely on a child's attack? But Buu said he was conducting an experiment and proceeds to create more ghosts. And this nigga Vegito starts posing like a JoJo character. Instead of having them explode, Buu decides to make them use Kamehameha. Had this man Vegito on the run. Buu starts laughing like a fucking maniac cause he thought he got him. But then bro didn't see a body until he got his head blown off by a fucking key blast. And here comes Vegito again. Damn, Buu, you finally did something smart for once in your life. I'm proud of you, son. And this nigga Buu was seething, but he was mad. So he tries to attack Goku, only to get kicked in the back, clocked in the face, had a boot through his stomach, boot to the face, and just humiliated. Bro got turned into a fucking thumbnail. So he continues attacking and missing while throwing a tantrum. Damn you, if it wasn't for the fusion, I would have torn you apart, says the nigga that absorbed all my friends. I'm going to kill you. Bro ends up with a boot to his throat for all his troubles. Had that nigga falling in slow motion. And here goes Vegito talking shit again. Damn, cuz, you can't even land a single hit on me, bro. Not gonna lie, dog, you kinda cooked. Might as well surrender, bro. While Vegito was gloating, Buu came up with a plan. Goaded this nigga to get closer. Bro turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do it! Come on, kill me, I'm here! Come on, do it now, kill me!
And when Goku got close enough, bro turned his ass into candy. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see with your own two eyes, Vegito is black. I don't care what none of you say. I don't want to hear any arguments, bro. This man is black. Anywho, bro, Boo is ecstatic. He turned this man into candy. Clearly, he's won. Look at how happy this man is.
Yes! I did it! I finally turned him into candy!
Bro is laughing like Prime Flight reacts until he punches himself in the face. And here goes Vegito. Damn, cut, that's crazy. Even in this form, I could still beat your ass. But good luck attacking something so small. Boo's like, attack? Nigga, I'm just gonna eat you. And this man just licked his lips after those words. What? Yo, Vegito was offended. So bro hits him with the 3-hit combo. Hits him in the gut, followed by a sweet chin uppercut, and then turned his ass into a cartoon character. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, this man is still aura farming as a candy. Why is the sun glistening on him, bro? You can tell he's probably pulling the most bodacious pose right now. And bro even calls Boo embarrassing for this showing, bro. So Boo pulls up like an angry cat and starts scratching, only to be missing every hit. And to aura farm even more, bro moves away from Boo and left that nigga looking stupid, punching the air. Anywho, Vegito decides he wants to show off his new move. So he attacks, but Boo blocks the first hit, gets hit by the second. And ladies and gentlemen, I really want to point out, whenever this candy glistens like that, bro is aura farming. 1, flexing on you. 2, and it's probably pulling off one of these before rearranging Boo's head. But bro finally manages to grab Vegito.
Chow time, sweetie!
Yo, why is he calling people sweetie, bruh? Anywho, he shoves this man in his mouth. Pow! But Vegito was not going willingly. Look at this! Bro had this man punching the back of his throat. Vegito escapes only to start beating the shit out of this man some more. And here goes Boo.
Stop attacking me, please! Fight like a man!
My nigga, do I look like a man to you? Then bro pulls off this move and continues gloating.
Now, do you want to continue to fight me like this or fight me in my original form? The choice is yours.
So bro chooses the original form. Boo continues to get even more mad and starts throwing punches, only to get fisted in the combo. So bro starts throwing blasts, but that didn't go any better, cause bro got headbutted, styled on, and then half his body blown off. And then this man starts having an orgasm like, what? Vegito didn't like these sounds he was making. So bro hammers his face and teleports to kick him, then grabs his antenna so he doesn't go too far. And then bro's like, wow, Majin Buu, that's crazy. You're really half the man I thought you were. Bro hits Vegito point blank with a blast, only for it to do nothing. I think it just made this man mad. So bro lets him go and puts a hole through this man with a Kamehameha. Of course, Buu regenerates from this and tries to brag, but Vegito's like, my brother in Christ, you are still a donut. And Mans was flabbergasted he still got a hole in his body. So he repairs it. And when Vegito tells him he's gonna end this, bro starts yapping, only to get blasted in his mouth. The amount of sus sentences I have been forced to say during this recording. Anywho, bro, Vegito being the ultimate grifter that he is, tells this nigga Boo, hey bro, take 10. I don't know what you gonna do, bro. Say a prayer, go get some food. Like, I don't know, bro. Just take 10. But after those 10 minutes, I'm gonna fold those clothes you're wearing with you inside them. And Boo was flabbergasted. And then Vegito started counting. Boo notices another one of his blown off antennas and comes up with another devious plan. He discreetly uses the antenna while Vegito is counting to finally nab them niggas and absorb them. And Mans was laughing like he won. Hey bro, who showed him how to make the middle finger, dog? Isn't he a fucking alien? Anywho, bro was flying around celebrating like crazy, declaring that he will be the strongest in the universe after absorbing Vegito. In hindsight being 2020, now that we know what we know, my dear Kirby knockoff, you wouldn't have even been top 10 in the verse. Anywho, while Boo's laughing like a maniac, Vegito splits and finds a way to escape with everybody else. But ladies and gentlemen, Vegito has to be one of the coldest characters in DBZ and one of my favorites. Yeah, Gogeta is cool, but Vegito is him. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.